Is your new book, Cotton Candy on a Rainy Day, a departure from your earlier writing styles? And if so, is it more personal?
Gee, I always have a hard time answering questions like that because to me it's a logical outgrowth of my first book. That one is obligated to grow, to learn something that, what would be the point in 1980? I think Cotton Candy came out in 78. What would be the point between 1967, which was my first book, and 1978 of not having grown somewhat? So that, no, I don't think it's a great departure. I think that it shows some maturation. I hope so.
Is it a conscious kind of growth? You talk about growth from perhaps one book, one writing to another. Is it something that's done consciously or something that just takes place?
Well, I think a little bit of both. Only a fool would not learn from an experience. You know, you never try to put yourself in a position of being a fool. That if something happens, there's a lesson there. Sometimes you have to think about it for a long time. But there's a lesson in everything. So that, on that level, yes, it's very conscious. On the other hand, from, say, my first book to my last, I've traveled all around the world. So there's going to be a change. Just the fact that you go to Africa, you go to Asia, you go to Europe, to the Caribbean, it's going to change you. If it doesn't, there's no point in you going. If you're going to be the same girl you were when you left Knoxville, Tennessee, then you may as well have stayed in Knoxville, Tennessee. Something, you know. So that's sort of like an unconscious process that you see things. You see things that make you happy. You see things that make you sad. But as long as you're alive, you're participating in the process of life.
You're an artist who expresses herself through writing. I wonder why writing? Why not some other forms of art? Why have you turned to writing?
I think I agree with all the writers that writing turned to us. You know, we were, somebody said, well, how come you're a poet or something like that? But I don't think a writer chooses his form. I think that the form chooses the writer. There's no way on earth that I could write a play. It would never happen. I don't even think like that. But you have here in Detroit a young man, Ron Milner, whom I've known forever. Ron will never write a poem. I mean, he thinks in plays. That's all he thinks about. You know, he sees characters, he sees scenes. And I think that's terrific. I think that's, you know, I think it's terrific. But every writer has his own discipline.